My name's Ben, and today I'm going to walk you around what has got to be one of my favourite cars of all time. This is a 2022 on a 72 registration Alfa Giulia Quadrifoglio, and this is probably one of the nicest specified cars, examples of this car we've ever had. It's presented in this stunning triple layer Etna Red, which gives it really sort of deep colour, depending on which light you look at it under, and it's Alfa's most expensive paint option for this car, and it is stunning. It really needs to be seen in person to be appreciated, and it's covered in tons of cost options over and above the Etna Red. So, for example, the exposed carbon fibre roof, which you can probably already see from where you're standing, that's £2,000 on its own, and a very rare option as well. It's not often you see them with that exposed carbon roof. This example has done just under 15,000 miles from new. It's one owner from new, and it's covered obviously by the remainder of its manufacturer's warranty, but also a 3-year service plan, the balance of a 3-year service plan. So the next 2 services are free of charge on the car. So it's very low cost runnings for the next owner. And we'll start at the front end and walk you around. So we've got the extended sort of, being a Quadrifoglio, the extended carbon fibre front splitter down here, which is really cool. There's lots of gloss carbon around the car. The dark grey finish to this V shape around the front grille here. Obviously the offset number plate, a famous feature on Alfa Romeos these days. LED headlights, and they are a very powerful headlight as well. I've used them in the dark. And then if you see the bonnets, the vents on the bonnet here, the underneath of the bonnet is exposed carbon fibre, so it's a full carbon fibre bonnet. It's very lightweight. A lot of the car is very lightweight. If you haven't driven one of these, you really do need to, because they are so nice to drive compared to their competitors. We've got the 19-inch 5-hole dark alloy wheels, and then the red brake calipers, which again is a £450 option to have those calipers painted in red. Again, a really good looking wheel. Again, probably my favourite wheel on this car. We've got the cloverleaf badge on the front arches here, which is sort of similar to how Ferrari do their Scuderia shields in the front arches. Gloss black door mirror covers, and then these extremely wide carbon fibre extended side skirts down there as well. Just stands out so much. It's not difficult to get one of these mixed up with a standard Giulia. They are so different looking. Keyless entry and exit on the door there, and if you have a look at the door mirror just very quickly, the sort of triangle in the top left-hand corner there, that illuminates orange for your blind spot monitoring as well. And then if you have a look inside, the eagle-eyed of you may have already noticed this car has got the Sparco carbon shell seats, but it's much nicer to show you those from behind where you see all of that carbon. It's also got the option of the green and white stitching throughout the car. That is a cost option as well. And then there's just carbon fibre everywhere you look, around the air vents, across the dashboard, around the door handles, around the window switches on the door handles, at the bottom of the steering wheel as well, and all through the centre console there. And we'll talk more about the interior as we get around the driver's side. Privacy glass to the rear 3/4 of the car, and then have a look in the back as well, where you can see the exposed carbon on the back of those Sparco carbon shell seats. It's probably the coolest feature of the car in my opinion, and really nice to see. And they are still exceptionally comfortable compared to most cars, like I say, of this sort of nature, of the super saloon category, if you like. And 5 seats in the back as well, so you can carry 3 passengers in the back if you did wish to do so. And there's an armrest that pulls down in the centre there as well. And then we'll go round to the back of the car. We've got this huge extended carbon fibre spoiler on the back here, which again is really cool. It all just adds up to make it such an aggressive styling on the car. The black Alfa Romeo badge on the back, and then the massive diffuser section around the bottom, and it's so deep under there for that diffuser. The quad exhaust pipes, 2 on either side in the gloss black tailpipe finish, and these updated rear light design as well. And then if I show you in the boot, super lightweight boot as well. You just literally pop the button and it flies open. We've got a cargo net in the car as well. There is also a second set of mats available with the car, because they are tailored to fit the car, so they can stay with it as well. So it just shows how the previous owner and only owner has looked after it. Reverse camera on the boot you may have seen as I was shutting that down as well. And then the Giulia badging there with the cloverleaf again in the corner, a really cool touch. And I'll jump inside and we'll talk you through some of the interior options on the car. So starting on the driver's door card, all of the carbon, as I touched on before, around the door handle and around the window switch pack. Power folding heated door mirrors as well. Obviously all electrically adjustable windows, and then the Harman Kardon stereo system in the car, which just really makes the sound system up to scratch with what it needs to be. Foot on the brake, push the start button, and that 2.9 V6 comes into life. And it sounds fabulous when you're going, and it's, as I say, probably one of the best driving super saloons I've had the pleasure of driving. We've got the updated steering wheel in front of me here, so slightly different design to the bottom of the steering wheel, where you've got the cloverleaf sort of embossed into the carbon fibre at the bottom here. Start button on the steering wheel, and then the left-hand side we've got all of the controls for our active cruise control. So it does have distance, sort of sets the distance and keeps the speed with the traffic. On the right-hand side, we've got all of the multimedia controls and volume controls. Behind the steering wheel, huge aluminium shift paddles, and again, they're really nice to feel, and they are static, so they don't move with the steering wheel, which is like a race car, so a really cool feature there. And then obviously your indicator, lane departure warning on the left-hand side down there as well. All of your automatic headlights adjustable down there, and you start-stop for the engine control. And then coming over to the centre, again, being a facelift, this is a touchscreen version of the car, so you can control it with your fingers. If you plug in, it's Apple CarPlay as well, but you've got Alfa Romeo's own navigation system in there, built in if you do need to use it. And if I pop it into reverse, you'll see the reverse camera come up there, and this sort of 360 parking sensor display on the left-hand side there. I'll pop it back into park. Dual zone climate control on the front here, USB ports everywhere. There's also some under the centre armrest here. The gear lever, your DNA driving mode, so at the moment N is normal, you've got A, which is like an efficient mode, D for dynamic, and there's also, if you hold it, there is a race mode, which you might hear opens the valves on the exhaust and just makes it sound much better. And then coming into the centre, we've got the controls for the centre screen here, so that will control the screen if you don't want to use the touchscreen functions. And then behind the armrest here, a wireless phone charging pad in the centre, so you can just pop your phone down in there and it will charge whilst you're driving along. More USB ports and lots of storage under there as well. I'll just pop it into park and jump outside and summarise the car for you. So, as we touched on at the beginning, one owner from new, lots of cost options in those seats, the exposed roof, the wheels, the brake calipers, the contrast stitching, etc., etc. There's lots of cost options around the car. Probably the nicest one we've ever seen in this colour, because it just stands out whichever way you look at it. However the light's looking at it, it looks different every time you see it. Just under 15,000 miles, sorry, and a full Alfa Romeo main dealer service history with that service plan. My name's Ben. I hope the video's helped. Thank you very much for watching.